he's opening and closing his arms. And the reason why he does this is because he has a notion of his center of gravity, and as it moves, he's been told, using his bones, using his muscles, what to do to compensate for that. So these little, movements of his foot, none of these have been animated, none of these have been pre-planned. They're all being generated on the fly based on his simulation. So as I get closer to him, you see we're getting more and more dramatic movement. Every movement on the bridge is going to get an equal and opposite reaction from Indy as he tries to steady himself. So he's going to fall down, and actually, so what's interesting there is you saw how he got caught on the pieces of the bridge. That would take thousands of animations to do in a traditional sense, because an artist would literally have to anticipate every possible way that Indy could fall. But because it's simulated, you're able to get an infinite variety of reactions from him just using one very simple behavior. And another thing that we're able to do through Foray, assuming that Indy wants to cooperate, is we can actually layer behaviors on top of one another. So as Indy goes over the side of the bridge, he actually has been told that, if possible, grab on. Now he's not going to do it every time because it's not scripted, it's not a canned animation. As he goes over the side, it's going to take into account the speed that he's falling, the position of his arms, and actually his body weight. And those things are going to determine whether or not he's able to grab. So if you want to think about what this means in terms of gameplay, Indy could conceivably grab the railings on the bridge and you could start shaking them. Now that's going to cause the other characters to start reacting in the same way that you're seeing him do it. They could fall, they might grab one another because the characters can actually use Euphoria to interact with one another. Someone might grab his shirt, someone might grab his arm or his leg, they might pull a whole group of guys off. All of these things are possible because it's not animated, because it's simulated. Also, something you'll run into games a lot is force being exerted on a character. So I'm just going to use these small rocks here to show you that, in a normal game, a character might be able to know when he's getting hit in the arm or when he's hit in the head or something fairly simple like that. But in this case, I can actually pelt him anywhere on his body, and no matter where I hit him, he's going to become unbalanced, at that point of his simulation, and he's going to try to compensate from that spot. We also have a notion, obviously, of weight. So larger rocks are obviously going to get a much bigger reaction from Indy than the smaller ones. So I can actually just keep loading them up here, and you can see. Now, another thing that's really cool is Indy can actually trip over these rocks. His feet can get tangled up. Now, you could never do that with classic animation because the animator would have to think about ahead of time every way Indy could fall, and then you would actually have to go in and build every permutation. So you get unlimited replayability out of just one behavior. And Indy's not going to have one behavior. He's going to have at least dozens of behaviors running simultaneously that are going to dictate his movements. And so will all the other characters in the game world. So, you're really getting just unprecedented depth of characters interacting with the world, interacting with one another, and really giving players a fresh new experience every single time. And, for practical applications of this, definitely check out our Chinatown demonstration, because that's got it integrated into gameplay. And also, that will show you our digital molecular matter, which is sort of the other side of this equation. This is simulating characters. Digital molecular matter is actually going to simulate environments. So instead of building the world out of just polygons and breakpoints, we actually build it out of individual particles of wood, metal, glass, rubber, organic material, and all of this will interact with the characters in a very realistic way. You can actually see it right there, that wood that's shattering, that's all being simulated through digital molecular matter. So the combination of the two is something that's truly next-gen. It's something you could never do before, and it's something that, our game's going to look great no matter what. So next-gen graphics are going to be there, but we feel what's really making a difference is that we're using simulated gameplay to change the entire experience. So it's going to be beautiful and unique every time you play.